This summer, the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series heads to the hills of wine country in Sonoma, California. A track that features power, precision, and pure adrenaline. New challenges, same legendary road course. 1.99 miles, and no room for error. Precision meets chaos. Speed meets strategy. Live tonight on Knapp Daddy Racing. It's the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. We are live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to Road Course Racing here at Sonoma Racing in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, here live only on Knapp Daddy Racing. My name, as always, is Hunter Foley. Got my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, up here in the booth with me again, as always, and we are ready to bring y'all some road course racing. This is our first road course of the season. We got a couple more coming up, but it is sure to be an exciting time and a lot of varied times here at Sonoma. So we are excited to see how this thing plays out. First and foremost, huge shout out to our sponsors that keep this thing going. As mentioned earlier, this is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Be sure for any construction projects that you have coming up, whether that be commercial, industrial, or just some residential work you need to get done around the house, be sure you check out Sunbelt Rentals. They are all over the country. They are professional. They know what they're talking about, and they will point you in the right direction if you already do not know it. Be sure to check out Sunbelt Rentals. Anytime you need a piece of equipment for a project, they'll make sure you stay taken care of. And huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for making this league possible. Again, as I said earlier, myself and John make up Knapp Daddy Racing, besides the broadcasting here on YouTube, but we try to be your one-stop shop for all things iRacing, whether that be a new logo, new template, anything you need on that car to make it look fantastic, we have over at Knapp Daddy Racing. Or if you just need a new t-shirt or a new hat, we got them over there at knapdaddyracing.com. You can catch us here live on YouTube for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series here on Monday nights. You can also catch us live on TikTok as often as possible. But we are Knapp Daddy Racing, and we are very excited to be here with each and every one of you all here tonight, as always. 21 people out there already in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, so you don't miss a second of the action over here. And make sure, as always, that you are in the comments cheering on your drivers. I know that the Frank Marchese fan club, as always, has been out here already cheering on. A few of my favorites were from Brian Gibbons, my favorite Monday night show, Frankie and Friends. Minnie in elementary school, Frank Marchese's teachers had to raise their hands to speak to him. And then my broadcast partner, John, came up with a pretty good one here. He said, Frank Marchese mines for Bitcoin using paper and pen. You also have Nathan Fox, who is the spotter for Craig Bontrager, the number 35, saying, go RER, go Bontrager. Shasta Jewel, as always, saying evening to everyone. They are out here cheering for the Rogue Energy Racing boys. And then Minnie with a nice compliment saying, intro goes hard. Good job, guys. Frank would approve. We appreciate it. All credit there goes to my boy, John. He puts a lot of time into those things. But, John, talk Sonoma to me. Talk road course racing.
Man, I don't know. It's a road course. You know, I like to go left. That's about all my brain can handle. But no, we're out here at the road course tonight. We talked to a few drivers earlier this week, and a few of these guys actually really like road courses. Brandon Trush had a podium finish last week, had a really good finish the week before, and he said he loves road courses. So I'm looking for him to have a really good finish here tonight. Hopefully get him up in that win column. Looking for a new winner. I mean, we've had a new winner every week, so Might be the night for Brandon Trush. He might be my pick for the night. We won't say it till later, but also along with that, Jay Vault. Also, we've heard that loves road courses as well. So another guy to watch out for.
Definitely going to be one to put on the list for watching out tonight. Someone who did kind of surprise me a little bit. I don't know genuinely how he feels or doesn't feel about road courses, but we had a lot of guys out here practicing about 40 minutes before we actually started the broadcast up live, and our fastest practice time until the qualifying started was Jamie Horn in that number 98 machine.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me too. I've raced with Jamie before, but I just don't see him as a road course guy. But Jamie can throw down with the best of them, so good on him for going out there and getting it done. And at least in practice, he's just got to transfer that over to the race. Keep it clean, keep it protected. And the thing with road courses, you got to be consistent all the way through. You can't let off your guard for a second. So it's going to be a fun race, very interesting race. We do have 2 stage breaks tonight, I believe at 15 and 30. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir. Well done.
And
we have 55
no cautions.
laps total.
Yeah, 55 laps total. There will be no caution thrown at the stage break. So if these guys get spread out, they're going to stay spread out.
Yeah, I do imagine that we are going to see a couple of cautions here. Just while everyone's trying to get around the track, you're going to have some bad turns where you're trying to cut it through. Like you were just saying, one of the keys to this thing is making sure that you stay consistent and know where you're going to be trying to pass, because that's the first way that you're going to get in trouble over here. But definitely going to be an exciting one.
I'm also looking at these Rogue Energy guys. A lot of them had some really good runs. Some of them had some bad luck over the past few weeks, but maybe one of these guys likes road courses. I'm looking for Rogue Energy to pick up the first win here. Definitely been an exciting season with a new winner every single week. I don't think we've had a repeat winner yet. I think Ryan Moyer got pretty close for a second, but did not pull it off. Our winner last week, Cody Bullock, pulling it off in spectacular fashion in the very last lap, driving through a little bit of traffic. But on the other hand, Greg McConey caught the short end of the stick on that one and got turned. Had a really good run, very strong car all night. I think he finished, 12th maybe, or 8th. I can't remember. It's one of those even numbers, but went from first back to 8th or 12th, and did not help his points at all. And we'll pull up a point standings here in just a second as soon as we get these qualifying times done. But right now, your pole sitter is going to be Ryan Moyer, followed by one of those RER guys, the Dylan Canova. Good to see him back. Cannot remember if it was last week or the week before that he was out, but good to see Dylan back and up there near the top, also near the top. Frank Marchese, the Italian stallion, up there. Brandon Trush, we said last time, loves road courses, and he's up there. Just moved down to P5 with Craig Bontrager, who we're watching here. Moving up into that P3 spot. Craig's the only one I have on the track right now, as he just finishes up there. Yeah, some of these guys are going to have a little bit different speed. I talked with Kenneth McCullough Jr. earlier this week. He does have a league, a little promotion for Kenneth here in his league. They do Saturday and Sundays at Super Speedway, so if you're looking to get involved in that, I know it's a paid kind of thing. You pay each race, but payouts for a lot of drivers, a lot of cool stuff over there. I'm trying to get in one of these weeks when I have some free time, but definitely a guy to check out with this Super Speedway stuff. I'm going to see how that translates tonight over to a road course, though.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of guys. When we've talked to the McCulloughs in the past, they are super speedway experts. Obviously, that doesn't mean you can't be great at other tracks as well, but you like what you like. I know I got Euler Sim Racing, which is Jake Euler, the number 7 out there, saying, don't expect me to do very well. I like turning left. Brother, you and John both. And then we also have K Doggy in the chat. Longtime friend of the channel saying, what's up? Hope you're doing well, bud. But it is definitely going to be interesting to see how these guys kind of translate things over to the road course racing. As far as I've seen right now, our best qualifying time, like you said, is Ryan Moyer with that 1:17.87. I believe that is the fastest time we've had put down on this track today, except for one of Jamie Horn's practice laps, where he put down a 1:16.71. But, you're going to see a huge fluctuation in times here, especially based on where you are out on the track. I know in practice, we had everything from 1:16.7 to, I think it was almost 1.23 out there. So, you're going to see some guys really get out here and love what they're doing, and you're going to see some other guys that are like, please God, let it be over.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these times now. I believe you'll be able to see Joe Hutchings in the standings tonight. He is going to be race control and is not racing. From what I've been told, unless some surprise comes up, Joe Hutchings is actually going to be race control tonight, able to call some cautions for us. Kenneth McCullough Jr. doesn't like he put down a lap. I don't think Jake Euler has put down a lap. Simon Girls, Jamie Horn, George Jewell, Cody Bullock, Jay Vault, and James Fox II. Looks like they all got on the track at some point, but did not complete a lap for time. So I'm wondering if they hit the wall or spun out and the time got deleted there. So that's the hard part. If you go off the track and there's a turn here, and I believe it's turn 3, actually 3A is what they call it. You can kind of cut the corner and get off on the grass, but it is going to give you some penalty points there. You don't have to slow up or anything, but it does go against your points that you can get. If you get too much, you will get kicked from the race.
100%. And those things that might matter during qualifying, going off the track, picking up an incident point or something like that, all that will do is just basically delete your qualifying time. It does not mean anything during the race other than you might pick up an incident point depending on how hard you hit it. But if it makes you significantly faster in the race, obviously you got to deal with that trade-off. We are running the chute configuration tonight, which is the 1.99 mile variation of Sonoma Raceway. We do not race I think the old way that they did it. I don't remember exactly when they changed it. I want to say like 2019, something around there.
Sounds right.
Where they raced the carousel configuration.
Yeah, and I kind of like the chute a lot better. I mean, you're going to have to get on your brakes pretty hard going into that first chute, which is labeled turn 4A. And after coming out of that, you're not really going to get up to gear very quickly. Probably keep it in second, maybe even third there, but shifting right back down to slow up again. Take that corner, usually about 35 to 40 miles an hour, maybe even slower to get around there. So 2 hard braking points there right back to back. And then this track also has a 180-degree turn right before you get to the start-finish line. And that's going to cause a lot of issues too, because before you get to that turn, you're actually going downhill. So it's easier to slide your car and get a little loose there.
Another fun fact for you there, Sonoma Raceway has the most elevation change on any currently run NASCAR track. Not that a lot of them have a lot of elevation change, so it doesn't really take a lot, but they do technically have the most elevation change. I think it's around 160-ish feet, which is crazy to think about how that makes such a difference on a racetrack. And meanwhile, I think I have 160 feet of elevation to get out of my neighborhood.
Yeah, I definitely noticed it when I was setting the cameras up and trying to move it around the track. I had to keep going up and down and up and down. But hopefully the cameras work out for us tonight. It was a lot of cameras to set up. Before we start getting going here, as the guys are girding up, I do want to pull up the point standings really quick just to show where we're at in the season right now. Leading off your points coming into tonight, you have Ryan Moyer going to be in first place with 162 points with 1 win, followed by Jacob Hutnick. Cody Bullock picking up that win last week is going to move him up to 3rd place. Aiden Wilson moving up in the points. Chris McCullough, Kenneth McCullough Jr. is going to be in 6th. James Fox is 2nd, picking up a podium finish last week, going to be in 7th. Tyler Justice, George Jewell, and Greg McConey. McConey did drop a little bit after last week just because of the little incident there at the end. Caused him to drop a little bit, but that would have definitely helped his case out if he were to finish in 1st place for sure.
And then I know we got our top 10 up there, but this league will be the top 13 drivers qualifying for the playoffs. So your 11th and 12th place drivers for playoff points right now is 11th place is going to be Jamie Horn, and 12th is going to be Craig Bontrager.
I believe we're about to get going here. I'm going to pull up the grid here if you want to read them off for us. If you have it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got it. As they're getting grid up, just took me a second to figure it out there. But as far as our drivers who qualify, you're going to have Ryan Moyer in the number 59 machine starting in 1st. Dylan Canova starting in 2nd in that 34 car. 35 is going to be Craig Bontrager in the 3rd position. Got a couple RER guys right there near the front. Frank the Tank Marchese in 4th. Brandon Trush in 5th. Jacob Hutnick 6th. Christopher McCullough 7th. Tyler Justice 8th. Greg McConey in 9th. Garrett Fox in 10th. After that, it is going to go to our drivers who did not put down a qualifying time. Jamie Horn, Jake Euler, George Jewell, Kenneth McCullough Jr., Simon Grills, James Fox II. And here we go racing. Jay Vaught and Kenneth McCullough Jr. making up the tail end there.
And Dylan Canoa got a good jump, gets in front of Ryan Moyer pretty early. 2 cars already off the track. That's Hutnick and Trush there, I believe. No caution is out right now. Man, if you spun that early, that's going to be hard to make up. I see Brandon Trush, and I hate it because that is a Knapp Daddy Racing paint scheme that we just got to him this week. Featured the Clem Speed Shop.
Jacob Hutnick really just getting this thing back going. It's like Trush might have gotten it going a little bit before. But they are off to the races in front of him. So there's going to be a huge degree of separation right now. Front's going to be Ryan Moyer, Dylan Canova right on his heels, Craig Bontrager in 3rd, and Frank Marchese in 4th.
These guys coming around that 180-degree turn for the first time. Craig Bontrager, that's Frank Marchese there. Kenneth McCullough Jr., or Christopher McCullough, I'm sorry. Tyler Justice behind him. And I mean, it's going to be hard to pass here. You really have to set yourself up and time it out just right.
100%. It is taking, for whatever reason, it was taking my race software forever to load up. The Trush and Hutnick had gone back to the back, but looking at it right now, well, looking at it there, it does look like Brandon Trush has a little bit of damage on the front of that thing as well. But they are pretty much caught back up to the pack. They're not like completely lost or out of this thing at all.
Yeah, I did just get another notification that Jacob Hutnick did crash. He might have just barely hit the wall. Oh, the 58 car got a little loose around Trush. Trush is going to be able to squeeze on through there, though.
Yeah, he's got some damage on the front of that thing. He's still moving it back forward. Good for him.
Ryan Moyer is going to take over the first place spot here while we're looking at that damage over Dylan Canova. Ryan was fast in qualifying there in practice. I think he got a good second, or almost a second over Dylan Canova.
That is correct. And then I am looking back here toward the back of the pack. It's looking like Jacob Hutnick might be dealing with some damage now. Definitely not moving quite at the pace and looking like he might be a little bit loose there.
Yeah, Simon Grills, Jake Euler all together here. I believe Simon Grills might be having some internet issues. I'm not sure. He keeps flashing in and out on my side over here, at least. But I mean, look at Trush just moving his way right back through.
Yeah, he went off like a rocket ship. I know we were talking about it earlier. How he mentioned that he really likes racing at road courses, and he is starting to show that now. So good to see a Knapp Daddy Racing machine moving there up through the pack.
Hey, maybe we can make it 2 in a row with Cody winning last week in that other Knapp Daddy scheme that we had here. But they got to get past these RER guys and Dylan Canova and Craig Bontrager holding it down in 2nd and 3rd, keeping a good little pace here behind Ryan Moyer.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job right now. This is definitely not the part of the race where you need to be, beating and banging for a ton of position. Although we see a lot of guys that have moved up through the pack really, really well. Jamie Horn up 6 spots from 11th into 5th. I know he didn't put down a qualifying time, but I guess Jamie figured out something at Sonoma where he's just always secretly loved it because he is moving through the pack. Looking at that right there, that is a perfectly timed pass on the 83 of Greg McConey, and he's going to move himself right up there.
Yeah, and that's a trick that you kind of have to figure out here with the road course, too. Something I'm not very good at is learning how to outbrake your opponent. I know they stress that a lot in the F1, the Indy cars, and stuff like that. I've never got that concept down, but it looks like Jamie did it perfectly there. Get around Frank Marchese. Jamie's up 7 spots.
That was the other Trash Panda Motorsports guy. My fault. They both run a Red Bull car. It gets confusing.
I think they're both 80s, too, 84 and 83.
Yeah, I apologize, Frank fan club. I called out the wrong teammate there. Their paint schemes do crack me up. The trash panda on the side.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Moyer's pushed this out to a 2.8 second lead now and still growing it right now.
Yeah, he has something figured out here that he is really happy about. Another thing to take note of here. We do have Christopher McCullough running in the 14th position right now. It looks like his teammate Kenneth McCullough Jr. did not start the race. I know he was out there for practice earlier on. Don't know if maybe there's some internet issues or if he just decided that road courses weren't his thing, but he is not out there. Looks like he did not even put a lap down.
See if we can catch up with another RER guy here in George Jewell running 8th place right now. He's up 5 spots for tonight. He does have Brandon Trush on his heels, though, coming up. He's still got about a 4-second lead on him, but Trush is closing that gap in.
And it's, again, just the difference between road courses and what we see at your normal four-turn racetracks. You know, when you start seeing times so like 12 seconds, 16 seconds back on a standard 4-turn course, you're going to be like, oh, no, like I really got to start getting caught up here. Something's gone wrong, whatever. 12 seconds back and sitting in 8th place, and George Jewell's just out for, you know, a nice Sunday stroll right now.
Jamie Horn did just pass Craig Bontrager. That's going to move him up into 3rd place. He is now up 8 spots. Going to be our biggest mover of the night. So if it finished right now, he would get points for that.
And again, some things that you can do in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series to earn some extra points. You do get points for being the biggest mover. You get points for leading the most laps, which looks like Ryan Moyer is doing an excellent job of right now. You get points for each stage win. So if you are in the lead when we have any of those stage ends at 15 and 30, you get bonus points. You get a maximum of 10 if you're in first, and back to 10th, you get 1 point. I feel like everyone can do the math on that. And then one of the rules that I do really like as well, that is not, I would not say normal or typical of a lot of series, you get bonus points for having 0 incident points, meaning you did not get into any trouble during the race. You get bonus points if you were able to finish that way, which I think we've only had 2 or 3 drivers do throughout the whole course of the season, so that's awesome.
You can see just how far out these guys are getting separated here now.
Yeah, almost 4 seconds of separation between Ryan Moyer and Dylan Canova. But then Jamie Horn, I mean, it looks like Jamie must have a rocket ship strapped to his back tonight. That was about a 2.3 second lead less than a lap ago. Of course, the laps here are a little bit different, but
he's definitely closing in. I just saw Craig Bontrager get to the wall a little bit, making that 180-degree turn. Looks like his car is going to be okay, though. He's sitting P5. Frank the Tank able to get around him in that 84 machine. Still moving his way up. He's got about 3.6 seconds to Jamie Horn in front of him. Jamie Horn making a pass here.
I actually did hear Dylan come over the radio and say, Jamie, you're faster, go around me here.
That's good, Dylan.
Both a very classy move by Dylan and just letting kind of Jamie run at his pace here. Dylan obviously seems very, very comfortable up there. I don't think it's any skin off his back to let Jamie go ahead and go. There's a lot of race left here to go. Again, I know we've talked about this in previous streams, but maybe this is your first Knapp Daddy Racing stream here for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. I am able to hear the driver radio, and then I'll be able to kind of bring it up. It helps with some cautions. It kind of helps to hear what people's opinion was on things. We have tried in the past to put that over the broadcast for everybody to hear, but we do try to kind of keep it a PG-13 stream, you know, just in case anyone wants to watch it with their kids or anything like that. And I don't know that it's going to help my sleep at night knowing that, you know, Uncles Hunter and John taught little Jimmy a new word. And again, that's no disrespect in any capacity to any of these drivers. These guys are competitive. We're all adults here. You know, they're going to get frustrated. They're going to have some stuff going on. Oh, looks like Jamie Horn got a little bit loose there. So he went over the bump just a little bit spicy right there. Looks like he's got that back under control. Still 6 seconds to go before he gets up there on the leader, Ryan Moyer.
I'll tell you what, this part he's going through right here, the S's, man, that's a tough little bit to get through until you get to this turn that Jamie's approaching right here. Kind of tightens up a little bit, but then you have to hit the brakes again to get around this right-hand turn. And then one of my things I like to watch out for, when you come up here this 180-degree turn, it goes downhill, and then you got to hit the brakes hard, trying to be as far outside as possible to cut into this turn. And then another terrible part is when you're coming through this turn here, there's a small bump on the left side that will throw your car right there that Jamie just hit. And if you hit it just right, it'll spin you out in a second.
Jamie obviously has something figured out here at Sonoma, though. Going back to look at some of our other drivers that are a little bit closer together. I see Simon Grills back there, a little bit loose there, coming out of the exit of that turn. 22 seconds back right now. In 10th place, has moved his way up from 14th though.
Yeah, he's got about 1.2 behind Trush right now, about 8.4 in front of Christopher McCullough. Trush not making as much headway as he was earlier. I don't think the damage on his car, if it is just front end, would cause too much problems. I mean, this track's not a big aerodynamic kind of track, but if he does have wheel damage of any sort, that's going to throw off his groove all night.
Yeah, that's going to be going more into... So I know a lot of these guys do put in a lot of practice for these road courses. They put in a lot of practice for all the races, but especially at road courses, it's so important to get your timing down and have the car... You know, this is a fixed setup league as well, so you have to get used to the car the way that it's built from iRacing. And iRacing does a really good job of building cars to fit the spec of the track, but if it's not how you would normally run it, that takes a lot of getting used to. So... if you would maybe practice that and Simon been out here for 40 minutes before the race, practicing, and if that's throw anything off for Brandon, excuse me, then that would definitely be throwing a wrench in things.
Coming back here to Jacob Hutnick, sitting in 17th place. He is down 11 spots. He might have some damage that's causing some issues for him tonight after that caution, or not caution, but wreck that he had on the first lap.
And then behind him is going to be the last 2 cars on the lead lap. It's going to be James Fox and Jay Vaught. I know we had talked to Jay last week after the last race. Oh, and Jay hits the wall pretty hard there. I know Jay had mentioned that he really does enjoy road courses for the most part, but looking like he just had a little incident there with the wall. He's got a ways to go to get that thing back up to the front, almost a minute behind. In 16th position.
Yeah, I'm showing 1 minute and 1 second behind right now. Ryan Boyer, who's just dominating right now. Jamie has closed it in, but he's only closed in about 2/10 in the past 3 or 4 laps.
Which is a huge amount. Jay Vaught is off the track again. Kicking up dirt. There's a country song there.
Kicking up dirt. It's a Luke Bryan song, isn't it?
I'm almost certain. It's probably several Luke Bryan songs.
Yeah, let's be real. 3 chords, truck bed, my dog left me. Luke Bryan.
Dirt.
Yeah, dirt. Doesn't he have a song called Dirt? No, that's Florida Georgia Line has a song literally just called Dirt.
Nope, by Dirt. Jordan Davis, Luke Bryan.
No, I'm talking about the older one.
Oh yeah,
old.
The one that's just dirt, not about buying it.
Yeah, it's just a song about dirt.
So who was the guy that did the? They originally made it just to, like, make fun of country music, but it was kind of a banger, which kind of, I guess, tells my love for country music, where it's just beer, truck.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Made it off of a girl on TikTok making fun of country music. He made a song off of it. I also really appreciate Bo Burnham's special on country music.
So true. It's just so true.
Something for you guys to check out if you want to switch over.
If you decide to take a commercial break, watch
Yeah.
Bo Burnham's thing about country music. It'll crack you up. Don't watch it around the kids. Looking up here, it looks like we got Greg McConey up in 6th place. Started in 9th, moving his way up. He's got some challenge there from the 33 of Tyler Justice. Looks like he's going to be right behind him, but Greg is trying to run down Craig Bontrager right in front of him.
I really like that car that Tyler Justice drives. I mean, yeah, the colors are cool. I like the chrome that makes it pop a little bit. It looks like kind of metallic on that 33, but there's like some detail in it that almost looks like a topographical map. That's kind of like the space in there. It looks really good. I believe Shasta Jewel in the comments mentioned that, or not mentioned that, made that car. So shout out to them because it looks a nice car.
Yeah, I think they did the all the RER guys' cars, and they're always looking fresh. So shouts out there.
Love a good paint scheme.
Got Brian Gibbons in the chat saying Bo Burnham has a good country song too. I love how we can go from serious racing commentary here to talking about Bo Burnham. I love this stream. Love you guys. That's fantastic.
Oh no. I don't know if that was Ryan Moyer or that was me that cut out there, but
Ryan Moore is still pushing his way. Again, you mentioned it a few minutes ago. It looks like Jamie has closed it in. It looks like it's about up to 3/10 now. But Ryan's still out there absolutely putting down times. But everyone else seeming to stay very consistent in their positions. After Jamie got around up there, still got Dylan Canova sitting there comfortably in the 3rd position in that Rogue Energy machine. Still got Frank Marchese chilling in 4th position. Still very, very consistent. And it's so funny as this race goes on. I'm here looking at Frank's car right now. When they are going around these turns and you can see them start to lock it up so they can go around there, you just see the discs glowing on this thing. Those brakes are screaming for help.
which is a great little segue. So I don't think we did it. Bring up our keys to the race. We do have keys. Shout out to our non-sponsor that's not sponsoring for this, but actually, we don't have keys. Those are the wrong keys. I don't know why, but it did not save when I uploaded it. But that's alright. Main things tonight are going to be to stay consistent. Kind of like Ryan Ware's doing up here at the front. You got to hit your marks. This is a very skill-based track where you've really got to be on top of it every single turn. I know a second one that we had was don't lock them up. These two corners here where they're going around now is considered 4A and also turn 7 because you skip 5 and 6 for the carousel. But you can lock them up very quickly there. You know, and then you got to drive with your feet, be easy on the throttle, easy on the brakes. There's a lot of downhill braking here, which causes the car to get upset, a little loose there. A lot of bumps and weird places on this track, too, that can really just throw your car for a loop. So, got to be careful on the feet. I forgot what the term is, feet like a feather or something like that, but...
Float like a feather?
No, it's like feet like a feather. Somebody told it to me the other day. I was trying to pull one out of the bag there for some of our followers on TikTok that might be watching because it was on our TikTok stream.
Oh, I thought you were going for the Muhammad Ali thing. Anyways, got Minnie in the chat saying that Frank is 4th on the track, but 1st in their heart. And look at the little dude on the side of the Trash Panda car. How can you not root for it? It's adorable. It's objectively adorable.
Yeah.
And then
I love
Brian...
the Trash Panda.
Brian in the chat also saying key number 1, go fast. Key number 2, don't go slow. Key number 3, don't die.
Yeah.
That last one was from me. That's racing right there. Go fast, don't go slow, don't die. You knock all those 3 things out and you're gonna do great. One of the other drivers that I wanted to kind of keep an eye on as he was our winner last week was Cody Bullock. Cody started in 16th. He has made his way up to 14th, but he does find himself over a minute behind. Looks about 1 minute 3 seconds behind out on the track right now. I know he mentioned that he definitely doesn't mind road tracks, so that's not something like particularly new to him or anything like that, but Wonder if he's got some strategy that he's coming to play here. And there's a spin right there. Jake Euler all the way around.
But we caught that one there.
I know Jake was in the comments earlier saying, "Don't expect much out of me. He likes going left." I know you feel his pain on that one.
I do, man. I remember last time I raced here in the league, another league that I'm in, and it was. I remember telling you were spotting for me. I told you I would never do it again.
That was correct. That was at the Roval.
That was at Sonoma. The Roval was before
That's right.
that, and I thought I was gonna give it another shot at Sonoma. We gave it another shot, and then I decided I will never do it again. I'll take the points hit that night, give me a starting part. Not doing that.
We do come across lap 15, or end of lap 15 on to lap 16 here. So that is going to make your first stage winner, Ryan Moyer, in that 59 car, and he has done it in dominating fashion. He's going to have Jamie Horn moving his way up, now moved his way up almost 3 seconds.
Craig got it locked up there. He's going to hit the wall, trying to get out of the grass. I don't know if he's going to have any damage from that there.
Rusty Rafferty in the comments saying all the RER guys getting stage points. That is correct. Dylan Canova getting the 3rd place stage points. Craig Bontrager, I believe, was still 6th when we came across the stripe there, so that is going to get him stage points. And then George Jewell right there at the end of it. Not sure if he was in 10th or 11th there, but either way, really good movement out of those guys. Looks like George Jewell's going to be bringing it down pit road, as is
Frank Marchese, Greg McConey, Craig Bontrager, George Jewell, Jay Vault coming down pit road.
I'll bring it down pit road that time by. Looks like Tyler Justice still out on the track. Dylan Canova still in 3rd position, and Jamie Horn and Ryan Moyer still out there letting it eat.
Man, look at Jamie catching up, though. Only 2.2 behind right now.
Yeah, you can actually see him in the same camera shot now. I do have to wonder if maybe Ryan was setting such a fast pace that he maybe burnt off the tires a little bit here. Ryan Gibbons in the comments. Stock cars on road courses are like special teams in football. Just a bunch of Americans pretending to be European.
I love that.
It's a whole different level of appreciation, man. Like, I've never driven in on any sort of road course or anything like that. I have no idea what it's like. I know that I've been on a NASCAR track behind the wheel once, and it scared the fire out of me. So
Ooh, I didn't know what F word you were going with there.
yeah, I just did that whole diatribe about how we're trying to keep a PG-13 stream.
Yeah.
And then drop an F-bomb.
You held that F there a little too long.
By the way, the 84 of Frank Marchese doing really well back there in 8th position.
What a segue.
That was good. That's a point for me on that one. You dominated me on the segues last week. You had like 3.
Yeah, I've been working on them lately, man. Just workshopping a few. I tell a few to my wife. She's like, I don't get it. I'm like, you will Monday night. Trust me. Just watch. Got a notification. James Vault and some damage right here as he gets back on the track. And I feel his pain in that corner because that is where I always mess up at right there.
And we are doing some pit roads, some green flag pit stops at this point, so it is going to be a little bit shaky as far as where things will come out after that. Sorry, I just saw a comment that made me laugh. Craig Bontrager currently a lap down in 12th position. George Jewell a lap down in 13th. Jacob Hutnick 1 lap in 14th. James Fox the second, 1 lap down in 15th. Jake Euler 1 lap down in 16th, and Jay Vaught currently 3 laps down in 17th.
I'm showing Simon Grills and James Fox on pit road right now.
You do wonder what the fuel situation is going to look like, because I know they were doing a 65% capacity on the gas tanks here. Not 100% sure what that translates to in terms of actual laps out on the track, but I know those tires have got to start being worn. The comment that made me laugh a second ago was Brian Gibbons, who said in the comments, "What the fire?" And then Brian also is asking, when does the first stage end? Many saying no yellows for stages. That is correct. The stages are at 15 and 30, but we are not doing cautions for the stages tonight.
Showing James Fox still on pit road. I don't know if he's got some damage he's working on here. I know he had that little incident earlier, but 72 seconds on pit road now.
It looks like I saw his wheels spin there. It looks like he's maybe trying to get things back going, but hadn't quite gotten there just yet. Cody Bullock now a lap down, so we are only have our top 9 on the lead lap right now. And Garrett Fox about a minute and 10 seconds off of the pace of Ryan Moyer, who is still in the lead. But you do also have to take into account that the top 3 or top 4 have not brought it down pit road yet.
Look, the pit stops here. Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 have not pitted yet. This is going to be Ryan Moyer, Jamie Horn, Dylan Canova, Tyler Justice, Brandon Trush, and Christopher McCullough. And I'm also seeing Garrett Fox and Cody Bullock and Jacob Hutnick.
Have also not brought it down.
Not that I see here on these laps. Brandon Trush making his way back up to 5th place, right where he started at. So I know there's some differences with the pit strategy right now, but able to drive that thing back up here to the front. He's only a second, 1.7 seconds off of Tyler Justice in front of him. Tyler's up 4 spots for the night, doing pretty well in that 33 machine.
Definitely, and I did just see James Fox is off of pit road, but almost immediately found himself off the track again and was kicking up dirt. And it looks like he's going to be bringing it right down pit road. Done with kicking the dust up. There's another Luke Bryan reference for you. That's 2 in a night. Brian said, man hit the pit stall and decided he was done with this turning right business.
I don't blame him. Somebody's not done with it yet, though. Ryan Moore, he's starting to increase that lead back out on Jamie Horn. Jamie had it down to about 2.2 seconds earlier. Spread it back out to about 3 seconds.
Good job. Well done. It is looking like a 2-pony show here, at least for right now. Ryan Moyer now increased that lead, like you said, back out to 3 seconds. Jamie Horn 3 seconds back. And then Dylan Canova is going to be in 3rd place. And this is road course racing for you. 3rd place is 18.3 seconds behind right now. And Tyler Justice is in 4th, and he is 38.7 seconds behind. But we do also have to consider that a lot of those guys have not brought it down pit road yet.
Yeah, and when it cycles out, I believe most of those guys, well, not most of them, Bontrager, Grills, Jules, Hutnick will probably be back on the lead lap. Cody Bullock as well, possibly. Possibly Jake Euler.
Just depends on what all they need to get fixed damage-wise. And then, again, just because I'm looking at it here, speaking of damage, you got the 23 of Brandon Trush. You can definitely tell that he has some front-end damage on that car from the incident we saw back on the first lap. But he's still making this thing go forward. He's right back up to the position that he started in, which is 5th.
Looking at Jake Euler here, still letting her eat out here. This is a hard turn he's making there. That's my least favorite one on this entire track.
Looks like he got real loose there for a second.
These S's, man, they just get you. It feels like the front end's down on the pavement, but the back end's just kicking up as you're going through them.
Yeah, and you can hear it. That's the difference here, too. A lot of times on 4-turn racetracks, you hear the wheels spinning, and you're like, uh-oh, I need to slow down. I need to get on the brakes sooner or something like that. Here you hear the tires squealing pretty much going around every corner. So not a lot that can be done there. It looks like Cody Bullock and that number 8 machine is bringing it down pit road.
Brandon Trush trying to size up Tyler Justice here to make a pass.
And again, your top 6 drivers have not pitted yet. So you have them, the top 6 go back to 56 seconds off of the leader, which is still Ryan Moyer in that 59 car, but about a minute behind, and then about a minute and 10 seconds behind is where you have our first cars on the lead lap who have already pitted, that being the 84 of Frank Marchese and the 83 of Greg McConey. So as I cut over to Greg there, he hopped the crap out of that corner.
Pop the fire out of it.
The fire.
You can hear Tyler Justice wheels spinning right here as he's trying to get through here. Tyler with that RER team all the way out from Byron, Georgia.
Still, either way, a huge run for the RER guys tonight. Still got a guy sitting in 3rd place, been there consistently all night. Tyler Justice moved himself up 4 spots from 8th up into 4th. Craig Bontrager also been running a good race tonight. Started in 3rd, he's back a couple of spots. I know he clipped the wall right as we were coming into the end of that last stage, but has got that thing back going again. He is a lap down, but looks like he's moving around the track well and has already pitted.
Yeah, he might cycle out of it too once Ryan Moyer and Jamie Horn come down. If I had to take a wild shot, I believe Ryan and Jamie are probably waiting for the stage break to pick up as much points as they can before they hit pit road here.
That is super interesting about the fuel strategy here as well, because if they can make it to lap 30 without having to make a pit stop, then they can make this a one-stop race.
Yeah,
and I think they've both shown pretty obviously that even on old tires, they can continue to be very, very competitive. Jamie Horn closed in about a second here on the last couple laps on the leader, Ryan Moyer, down to 2 seconds behind. The people behind him are starting to catch up. Dylan Canova now 22 seconds back, and Tyler Justice and Brandon Trush going back and forth close on the track, about 45 seconds behind. And Christopher McCullough sitting in 6th at 58 seconds behind the leader.
really interested to see if Jamie's able to bring it in just a little bit more. He's got it down to a 1.5 seconds here.
I mean, he's obviously got the car to do it. He's been running so well tonight, but it seems like about the time that Ryan Moyer seems like he might be in trouble, he just turns that second gear on and just really, fast and furious in the last 100 feet. He finds that extra gear and just takes off. Brian Gibbons, Moyer might start hearing the Jaws music with Horn lurking.
I mean, Horn is coming up. He's starting to lose a little bit here, though. I mean, that's the thing. You got to be... If Ryan Moyer hits all 17 turns perfectly, Jamie Horn's got to hit all 17 perfectly.
Because the minute you make one turn better than the other guy, that's a gain of time.
Yep.
It is the little mistakes that are going to take you out here at Sonoma. Look like Frank Marchese and Greg McConey, I know they are dealing with some of the lap traffic back there as well, but looking like they actually might have fallen a little bit further off the pace. They are back at now 1 minute and 2 seconds and 1 minute and 13 seconds, respectively, off of the leader, Ryan Moyer.
And things could shake up here in a second, man. Like, anything could happen. Moyer could just have a little slip up and get a little loose here and spin. I mean, anything could happen at a road course like this, because you have to be on it the entire race.
100%.
It's like Ryan Moyer and Jamie Horner down pit road, so I think the answers are questioned. I don't think they're going to be able to get 30, but they can get halfway to make it a one-stop race.
They can. So now we know that that's probably what they're waiting for. I did just see James Fox also come off of pit road Jay Vaught still on pit road, as well as Garrett Fox.
I got Tyler Justice, Brandon Trush bringing it down. Trush is looking to beat Tyler Justice off this pit road. Try to get the spot on pit road here.
It's like Chris McCullough also down pit road. So there is all of your remaining drivers that have not been on pit road yet, I believe.
Dylan Canova is going to be your new race leader. If he holds on to it here, Ryan Moyer's about 5 seconds back. He is going to pick up a stage win, which will be huge for his points here.
Got Shasta Jewel out in the chat saying, let's go number 36. Jewel. George Jewell currently finding himself in the 10th position. Currently a lap down, but I think we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff shuffling as we see the leaders have to make their pit road adjustments.
Yeah, you saw Cody Bullock get around him right there. That pass was not for position for Cody.
Dylan Canova down on pit road now as well.
So Canova's not going to pick up the stage win. I believe with that, everybody has pitted.
Jamie and Ryan brought it down as well.
Yep.
That is going to tighten the pack up significantly, though. Ryan Moyer now has a 4-second lead over Jamie Horn in the second position. Dylan Canova was in third place. Going to see if he's able to hang on to it as he gets off pit road. Looks like he got a little bit shaky there as he was coming off. He was, in fact, able to get off of pit road before Frank Marchese came up on him, but not by much. Frank Marchese now right on his tail.
Yeah, I will say with the iRacing Model 2, you do get heat in your tires just from spinning the tires, going left and right and everything, but iRacing actually has a built-in model, and I'm not sure if it's by design or just part of the coding when they put the physics into this game, but when you hit bumps and move the tires up and down, we're in a vertical plane, the game senses that the tires are moving up and down on a y-axis, I should say. It heats up the tires a little bit quicker, actually. So every time these guys are hitting these bumps like this, it's making the tires just a little bit more hotter than just if they were to stay off of it. Something to consider.
I want to ask the crowd out there. I just heard some yelling over the radio, so I'm gonna go see what that was. It was Christopher McCullough and Brandon Trush got into each other.
I see Trush moving a little slow. That's going to slow Moyer down too, behind Simon Grills. Jamie Horn's taking advantage.
Simon Grills trying to get back up to speed here. Ryan Moyer now in that line. He's got Brandon Trush behind him.
I mean, this is a perfect situation for Jamie Horn right now.
Yeah, because again, we talked about at the beginning of the race, it is difficult to pass here unless you find yourself just significantly faster than everybody else. It is looking like Simon is going to let Ryan get around there. But that is going to bring Jamie Horn right up to the bumper of everyone here. What I was going to say before we had our little spin out and I got yelled in my ears was I wanted to know when the crowd out there was last time you heard y-axis and vertical plane on anything that was a NASCAR broadcast. Because if you can send me a video clip of Darrell Waltrip saying vertical plane or y-axis.
I'm just trying to be descriptive, man. I could see Darrell Waltrip saying it. Darrell knows about downforce. I think we're going to make t-shirts. Oh, that's Simon Grills in the wall there, getting off the track. That's one way to get out of the way for Jamie Horn to get through. I don't think he meant to give him that much space, but Simon Grills gave him a ton of space and let Jamie Horn through. That's Christopher McCullough up there on the wall on the high side. Trush is trying to catch right back up with him.
And that was Christopher McCullough actually going a lap down there. So we are now only having 7 cars on the lead lap. Craig Bontrager, the next car on the lead lap, and he is 1 minute and 5 seconds behind the leader. You can actually see the leader in Craig Bontrager's mirror. I feel like I would pay good money to hear Darrell Waltrip up there broadcasting, just talking about, you know, let's just play this out here.
Man, if Ryan Moyer really wants to get up there, he needs to be increase the y-axis on the vertical plane.
Look, I just love the physics stuff. I like physics. I think it's cool, but I think we're going to make t-shirts that says no one cares about downforce. Because, obviously no one cares about downforce. We've had talks before about, especially for the super speedways, making little animations to show how side drafting works and how, like, drag actually works and everything like that. But then we think about it, like, nobody really cares about downforce, so why would I spend my time on that?
Brian Gibbons in the comments saying, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's apply force and accelerate on the horizontal plane, boys. That's good. That's high quality. And then Minnie saying, I don't use any axis stuff, but I use hypergeometric distribution daily. See, the problem here, now that we're having a physics discussion while there's a race going on, is that I'm stupid. And you could make a physics joke and it'd be wildly inappropriate, and I wouldn't know. I got scared reading hypergeometric distribution, not knowing if I was stepping into one there. Oh, it ain't easy being dumb, but what is not dumb is the performance that Ryan Moyer is out here putting on this racetrack. Back up to a 2-second lead on Jamie Horn there. You'll see he's gotten around all that lap traffic and is putting down his regular lap times again. Huge shuffle on the rest of the times, though. Dylan Canova in third place, now 41 seconds behind. Frank Marchese in fourth still, 47 seconds behind. Looking like he just actually is bringing it down and taking it off of pit road right now. And then Tyler Justice in fifth.
Comment section right now. I also have you down for 2 good transitions tonight. I have 1 for keeping score.
I was pretty proud of that last one, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't want to get you, boost you up anymore, but
That's fair.
if you want to put some more physics into it, we could talk about Boyle's Law.
Oh, wow.
I didn't want to increase the pressure so it, decreases your volume. You like that relation? Ryan Moyer out to a 28-second lead over Jamie Horn now. I believe Jamie Horn went back into the pits. And I wonder, I'm looking, I don't see any time where Jamie Horn took any damage, so I wonder if they can actually make it on fuel. If this has to be a 2-stop race.
That would definitely be interesting. Ryan Moyer now, though, out, like you said, to a 21-second lead. Or if that was maybe in the back of Frank Marchese's mind, because we saw him coming off of pit road just a few laps ago. But I know some of these guys are going to get to the point where they're going to start needing a caution to be able to move towards the front of the pack here tonight.
And see, I'm thinking, I'm trying to rack my brain here. If that's the case, if this has to be a 2-stop race, what Jamie just did was, that's chess. He is making a move because he came out of pit road and he's still in second place. He's only 28 seconds down. We look at his pit stop time. It's not even going to pop up yet because it's so fresh, but he only took fuel there.
Obviously a fuel play there, but I think you're realistically going to have to play some sort of chess to run down Ryan Moyer. I mean, Ryan Moyer started at the front of this thing and has not lost it for a second.
Which kind of makes me think, too, these other guys that pitted super early, if they have a play that's going to come in here later.
It very well could be. I do not have nearly enough experience at Sonoma to be able to wax poetic about anything having to do with the fuel strategy that comes into play at Sonoma. But currently only have 5 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is going to be Craig Bontrager, who is a minute and 13 seconds behind the leader, Ryan Moyer. That is going to be approaching territory where the leader is going to be running into him there. Also, don't think we mentioned it when it happened, you know, being the consummate professionals that we are, but we did go through our lap 30 stage. Those points also going to go to Ryan Moyer. Assuming Ryan Moyer actually stays out in front of this thing and brings it home, he would be not only the first driver to go wire to wire that we've had here in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, but would be bringing down just an insane amount of points.
I'm looking at this battle right here between 6th, 7th, and 8th place. That's Frank Marchese in that 84 silver Red Bull car. They got Christopher McCullough right behind him and Brandon Trush all right here together trying to make a pass. Get in that 6th place spot. Frank Marchese out there leading the pack. Doing a pretty good job, too, holding them off. I mean, hitting his corners well, pushing out very well.
Like I said, took that corner a little hot, but like you said, it's everything comes into play at road courses. There's no where to hide. There's no room for error. It's not like at a super speedway where you might be able to take a corner a little wide. Everything's fine. You touch the wall a little bit. Everything's fine. Here at Sonoma, you catch one of these turns just a little bit fat where you go in just a little bit too hot. And that's either your car completely around or that's the guy behind you gaining 0.5 of a second. Right there. Done. And then you got to do that 17 more times.
Yeah, it's just not a fun time for me. I will say you might see, like you're seeing Frank Marchese kind of hitting these corners and hitting the bump a little bit. You can use these corners to help rotate the car just a little bit coming through. You just saw Trush kind of do it there behind these guys. Just hitting that bump a little bit. I mean, you're also cutting the corner, making a shorter turn for one, but it's also kind of kicking the back end out, which helps your turn. I wonder if Frank's going to take the grass here.
Like you said, that's a risky play, though, because especially if you are going to be trying to use the bump to help that thing spin around, you go over it just a little bit too hot, and then, there you go. John Deere green.
Which we are John Deere brown out here because the grass is either dead or it's just dirt.
Doesn't make for as good of a song, but I see where you're going.
John Deere brown.
Sounds like something that happens after hitting the quickie mark before you got to run all your chores.
Yeah. Hit up the Exxon and spent too long on the tractor. Couldn't make it back in time.
Oh. And 5 on the diesel. That's disgusting.
Frank's out here just whipping it, though. I am loving Frank's lines that he's pulling out here. Just very smooth and consistent. I mean, he has got some spots where he's loose, but it's not about how loose car is, but how you handle a loose car, and he's handling it very well. Very impressed by him right now.
Yeah, he's running a great race. He's ran a great race the whole time through. Had a little bit of touch and go action there at the beginning. I know he had those drivers spin around him, but he's pretty much been right there between 4th and 6th the entire race. Give me a good points night for him regardless. Definitely a great run out of him. Then another driver that found themselves in some trouble earlier and just worked their way back up a little bit. Simon Grills saw him get very, very loose a couple times on that last stage. Worked his way back up to 10th place from 14th. Kind of back there all by himself right now, but it does seem like he's got that thing moving back forward.
I wonder.
Going even further back here, not the night that our last week's race winner wanted. Got Cody Bullock in that number 8 machine. Gonna be 2 laps down in 14th. Got a lot of ground to make up for here, and big slide out of Cody Bullock. Definitely know that wasn't the run that he was hoping for here tonight, but hey, the car looks great.
Yeah, it's a tough track. I mean, so he's got to bring her down pit road here.
Was it just me, or did he just send it into pit road?
The cone to where you actually have to slow down for the pits is actually a little bit further up inside that pit wall, so you can kind of send it down there a little bit faster than you would at most places.
And that would be something that I knew if I read the email.
Who reads emails anymore?
Nah, I don't know, man.
I'll fax it to you.
Oh, Christopher McCullough all the way around. Did a mean donut to spend his way out of it.
Greg McConey's going to try to take that spot. That's going to give Brandon Trush that spot. Craig Bontrager, we haven't talked about him in a second, moves up in that spot into 7th.
Christopher McCullough just had to do some driving there. I know he just spun around, and can you please go back about 30 seconds on him to see the donut that he whipped to get that thing back going. But he spun around. When he tried to get it back up on the track, he came in right in front of Greg McConey. And I heard over the radio, it was Chris McCullough going, no, and then Greg McConey going, McCullough.
That was some driving right there. Just got to get your donuts in early, I guess.
Yeah. Absolute anger out of McCullough. Sheer panic out of Greg McConey. And then McCullough said something. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what he said. It was loud. And got it back going again. And then while he was trying to let McConey get around him, he's drifted all the way over into the John Deere Brown. Keeps it straight. And, it's not straight anymore. He just hit the wall again.
He's taking that corner there a little bit wide. He's got Jamie Horn coming up right behind him. Jamie's still about 28 seconds off, but I don't know if Ryan Moyer is going to have to pit here. I don't really understand like what happened earlier with him pitting. With Jamie pitting, I should say.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see because, I mean, realistically, Ryan Moyer has such a lead at this point that if Ryan Moyer comes down pit road, I mean, Jamie will probably get back, I would estimate, somewhere between 18 and 20 seconds.
I mean, if we pull up the pit lane time, that's 42 seconds that Jamie spent on pit road, and I'm assuming that's just for fuel. Looks like because he took tires on lap 26, which put him at a 52-second pit stop, but on lap 32, I believe he just took fuel, which put him at a 42.6, so he'll definitely make the pass if Moyer has to pit. Canova will be very close. That's Christopher McCullough off the track there.
Also, the first ever time I've seen an escape from Tarkov car. Kind of love it.
It's a nice looking car. I like the copper look it has to it.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet. Speaking of sweet, Dylan Canova in that Gummy Bear Rogue Energy car in the number 34.
All right. I'll give you another one.
Yeah, baby.
I'll give you another one. For those
Still
that
running
don't
that thing
know,
in third.
we keep points for who has better segues up here, or who's putting segues down to transition. Hunter is up 3-1 tonight.
I got dunked on last week, though. I think I got 3-0'd last week.
I had a good one last week. That was just a good night for me.
But Dylan Canova, again, great run out of him. And that's the kind of either the frustrating thing or, the very happy thing about road courses, depending on how you feel about them. Like, you can be like, oh, I came in third place. I was 58 seconds behind. That might be a disappointing run. That might be an incredible best time you've ever had at a road course kind of run. But either way, going to the point you made earlier on tonight about consistency being key, Dylan Canova has been nothing but consistent tonight, and it's going to result in a good point tonight for him. He's a minute behind at this point. Lap 42, you got 13 to go. Unless Ryan Boyer has to pit, that things are probably not looking too great in terms of bringing home the win. But either way, you kept it out of trouble. And third place is nothing to shake a stick at. Still get you interviewed.
I mean, he's got 13 laps, and we've said it, anything can happen. You don't want to count it out too soon because you never know, man. I've seen crazier things. And I'm sure everybody here has. So if you're Dylan, you just got to keep your head down, keep driving it forward. You've been consistent all night. Keep hitting your marks, keep marching forward. You never know what's going to happen.
100%. And great night for the RER guys as well. Dylan Canova in third and Tyler Justice in fourth. So big, successful points tonight for the RER guys. Going to be a good night for the Trash Panda Motorsports guys as well. Frank Marchese up there in the fifth position, been running well all night. Greg McConey fighting back. I know he's had to get around some of the spin outs here tonight, but he's up in seventh place. So great night out of that team as well. Craig Bontrager back in ninth place. All three of the RER cars are going to be in the top 10 right now.
And George Jules just on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
He's sitting P11 right now behind Simon Grills. Got about 6 seconds, and he is catching them right now, so maybe he can pull this in here. I believe in George. I think he's got the car to do it, but Simon's also been pretty good tonight, pretty consistent. He's up 4 spots in that HEB car, which I just learned what HEB was about yesterday, actually, so.
What's HEB?
It's a grocery store, apparently.
Oh.
And people go crazy over this grocery store. Like, I mean, I had somebody talk to me for about 15 minutes about a grocery store yesterday. Just a intriguing conversation about a grocery store.
I mean, I feel like we did that to people when we first went to a Buc-ee's.
It's Buc-ee's, though. Come on.
It's an American treasure. If Ryan Moyer does have to come down pit road, then he is certainly not showing it right now. He has built that lead out to a 30-second lead on Jamie Horn. And Dylan Canova is about a minute and 3 seconds behind, which, if I'm doing my math right here, means that Ryan Moyer's got about 10-ish seconds before he's on the back of him.
Ooh, Jacob Hutton taking in there just a little hot. I was just about to say, we haven't talked about him much since that first incident. He's kind of making his way back through. Comes in just a little hot there. Greg McConey's going to get around. That is not a pass for position for Greg McConey, though.
And then you see Jamie Horn right there behind Jacob Hutnick. We've talked about it all night. Making passes is tough here, so especially if someone's trying to maybe work their way back up or try to get further up in position for points. You've got to be able to get around them. As we do see Jacob let Jamie around right there.
Ooh.
Got many in the chat saying Buc-ee's is the most American thing since baseball. I would agree.
Yeah. I mean,
where else can you get a barbecue sandwich and a Hawaiian shirt? And a good barbecue sandwich. I live in North Carolina. There's good barbecue sandwiches on every corner. The Buc-ee's barbecue sandwich stands up.
No, I remember those nights we kept driving back and forth to Florida from North Carolina, where I spent a few years of my life in Florida. We would drive back and forth to North Carolina to visit, but lots of stops at Buc-ee's. I remember getting like 3 barbecue sandwiches that one time, just eating them on the
we would
way.
get- we would go about 20 minutes out of our way just so we could stop at Buc-ee's because that was going to stock us up for the rest of the 8 hours that you had to get to Florida. And honestly, the size of their fountain drinks would stock you up the rest of the way to Florida, too.
Ryan Moyer's going to get slowed up just a little bit here, trying to get around Simon Grills.
It's like Grills did not want to give him that spot there. Simon's just running his race.
Yeah, Jamie's got to capitalize on this if he wants to draw it closer. Same thing with Dylan Canova, because if he's going to try to outbreak him here. But if Moyer does have to pit, I mean, Dylan Canova still technically has a chance here to get a P2 spot at least, assuming that Jamie Horn doesn't have anything disastrous happen. Knock on wood on everything you got over here. But, I mean, it would be close if he did pit, looking at pit times. But I still think Moyer might come out to about 20 seconds ahead if everything went perfect for him.
It is definitely going to be very, very interesting. We are on lap 47 of 55 here, so we are about to be coming to the end of this thing. Again, huge shout out to our sponsor, Sunbelt Rentals, for making sure that this thing goes off. It's a huge sponsor to have. The Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series is a newer league to the iRacing scene, and these guys have been putting on an absolute show, and it's awesome that they have such a great sponsor. We have such a great sponsor in Sunbelt Rentals to make sure that we keep this thing going, make sure these guys have a little something to drive for, keeps us up here in the booth, and we definitely appreciate it. And we appreciate every single one of y'all out here staying tuned and watching this thing to the very, very end. We know that for some people, road courses are absolutely your thing, and you'll watch anything you can about road courses, and some people will ignore it completely just because it's a road course. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I think our all-time high tonight has been 30 consecutive viewers, which is awesome. It's right near our all-time high. And so we appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. And it's always fun to see the regulars coming back every single week. So thank y'all very much. Minnie in the comments asking, what is the gap between 4 to 5?
I'm showing 5 seconds between Tyler Justice in 4th place and Frank Marchese in 5th place right now. Frank's got his hands full with Brandon Trush coming up. I'm sorry, Greg McConey. Brandon Trush just pitted. Trush was about 1 second behind Marchese when he came into the pits there. The fact that Brandon is pitting right now gives me more suspicion that this is definitely a 2-stop race.
When was the last time Brandon pitted?
Good question. I'll gauge the room here.
Let me gauge the room.
Looks like he pitted on lap 26. He's going to take fuel and take off. Good pit stop for him.
So he pitted on 26. When did his last time Moyer pitted?
It's going to be also on lap 26. Moyer's not bringing it in.
About to get interesting.
Moyer's not bringing it in there.
Brian Gibbons asking, which of the leaders still need to pit? Moyer, Canova, and Justice.
I believe Canova is good.
I think Horn and Canova are good. I'm unsure if Moyer is. We just saw Brandon Trush bring it down pit road, who pitted on the same lap as Ryan Moyer, and he just came down and just got gas and took off. So unless Ryan Moyer knows something that I don't, I think he's going to have to bring it down pit road.
Well, I don't know, because Canova hasn't pitted since lap 27. Justice is also on 26, so this could spice it up. This could be a good strategy here for both Frank Marchese and Jamie Horn.
We will see what ends up happening.
I'm showing
Currently
Frank back 37 seconds behind Dylan Canova in 3rd place. He is only 3.6 back from Tyler Justice. So if Canova and Justice both pit, that's going to push Frank the Tank up into 3rd place.
It would depend, because Tyler and Frank are both a lap down.
Well, we'll push him up past Tyler at least. Tyler Justice, probably not from Canova then. So Canova's... Ooh, Ryan Moyer very loose there. Coming around this turn here, we got 6 to go. Moyer's still out on the track right now.
I was going to say, you're going to start seeing these guys kind of start to whip it a little bit here on these old tires. I saw Tyler Justice get a little wobble right back there on that last entry as well. Yeah, honestly, the only person I know for a fact in the top 5 is good on gas is Jamie Horn, and I know Frank Marchese also pitted after most of the leaders as well, so I would assume he's good as well. Not sure when his teammate Greg McConey in the 6th position pitted last, but I have to imagine that's something of a tell with the gas situation, and I cannot wait to ask these drivers about it in the post-race interviews, because Brandon Trush in that 23 car just gave up 3 positions to just come down pit road and get gas. And he pitted on the same lap that Ryan Moyer did, and he pitted on the same lap that Dylan Canova did.
Yeah, looks like Bontrager's going to be good on fuel, so he might be able to move up some spots here. McConey, Marchese's good. They pit on the same lap, working together. Ryan Moyer passes pit road again. Going to keep it out. And Canova stayed out that lap as well. Who else are we waiting on? Christopher McCullough. Last pit on lap 26, so we'll kind of keep an eye on him to see if he comes in. Maybe that's a tell if Ryan Moyer has to pit. And I wonder if, man, if he's just like kind of keeping her in a high gear, Ryan Moyer in the front. But trying to save some gas, I'm just not sure. It's kind of a wild one for me right now.
Yep, very, very interested to see how this thing ends up. But, I mean, when you Ryan Moyer and you've been in that much in the front this entire time, I would imagine if you're aware of the different gas-saving strategies that you can use here at Sonoma, he's pretty much been able to go through the entire bag of tricks. But, oh, big slide out of Frank Marchese right there.
Ryan Moyer's bringing it down. Ryan Moyer's coming down pit road.
My God.
Dylan Canova stays out. Jamie's got some ground to make up. I wonder if he knows that Moyer's on pit road at this time.
I don't think there's any way that he knows for sure, and I did not hear Ryan announce it, which I wouldn't if I was him.
Wouldn't either. I don't blame him for that.
Oh, huge slide out of Jamie Horn. That's going to hurt his time. Oh, there's a crash in front.
That's Frank Marchese there. I believe James Fox the second. Ryan Moyer just got it back out on the track. Jamie Horn's just coming around about a turn behind him. It's going to put him 7 seconds behind. I think Ryan just perfect pit stop and secured it here. Curious to see if Dylan's going to bring it in on this lap. Dylan's going to stay out.
Oh, Moyer just had to lock him up going into that last turn.
Let's check back in on Frank Marchese here. Was involved in that accident. Only going to push him back to P6 behind his teammate Greg McConey. He's in P5 now. Greg's up 4 spots for the night. Tyler Justice up 4 spots for the night as well in that 33 machine. His teammate Dylan Canova still sitting in P3 right now. Still keeping it out on the track.
Current biggest mover going to be Jamie Horn, who moved up from 11th place. Like you said, Tyler Justice also moved up 4 spots. Greg McConey moved up 4 spots as well. But Ryan Moyer on lap 53, only 2 to go. Only 3 cars on the lead lap.
I wonder if Dylan's going to bring it in here.
I'm so curious if Ryan Moyer knew like how far he had to be ahead. Like, I want to know if he was playing that level of chess, where he knew how far he had to be ahead to get down off of pit road if he had a perfect pit stop, and he'd be able to get it back on the track.
And Dylan's keeping it out. He pitted only 1 lap past Ryan Moyer. Moyer had to bring it in already.
And he is still out there putting him down.
Moyer's going to keep increasing his lead over Jamie Horn. Up to about 7.5 seconds now. Jamie's up 9 spots for the night. That was a great run out of him. Don't think he had the best qualifying time that he was looking for, but able to make it work.
Qualified.
I think he ran a lap, but I think he took damage and it took his lap away.
And I believe that when you do, if you don't put down a qualifying lap, then you start based off of your fastest practice time, if I'm not mistaken there.
Yeah, I cannot confirm for that one, but Christopher McCullough in the grass again there. Craig Bontrager is going to get around him. Craig moving up into that 8th place spot. Brandon Trush had a hard night tonight. Looked pretty fast at the beginning. He did move his way up. He's back into 7th place, but I think some of that damage kind of messed with his car a little bit.
Yeah, I know he had to bring it down a couple extra times on pit road to get that thing fixed. And unfortunate for some of these drivers that maybe got spun out early or had to take on some damage throughout the race, but this has been a caution-free race, which is not easy to do at a road course. So shout out to these guys for racing very, very safely. But on lap 54, with almost a 7.6 second lead, I don't think anyone's going to be running down Ryan Moyer here.
Yeah, he's going to take the white flag here as he's bringing it around one last time. Trying to keep it together here. Jamie Horn's about 7.5 off the bumper of Ryan Moyer still. Dylan Canova about 46 seconds off the leader. Looks like he's running about 40 seconds, 30.5 seconds behind Jamie Horn. Still has not pitted. He has to make it around this last lap too.
Brian Gibbons in the comments saying props to race control as well for letting a few spins play out and guys getting it together. Yeah, again, huge shout out to our race control tonight, Joe Hutchings. I know some of you may have been able to see his name up there. He is in charge of the race control for this. Huge shout out to him. I think he did as far as I have seen, he's done a perfect job calling this thing. There's a lot of little spin outs and a lot of little turns and twitches that happen at road courses, but no one else was ever in any danger. I think he did a perfect job calling it. But either way, being race control is a thankless job. I think me and John have talked about it before. We have been offered race control jobs and have turned them down because it sucks.
Here comes Ryan Moyer taking the checkered flag. Going to be your first 2-time winner in the league for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series.
And what a points-filled night it is going to be for Ryan Moyer. Most laps led, wire to wire on this thing.
Gonna look back here at Dylan Canova really quick. See if he's gonna be able to make it around, man. If he's made it this far, I assume that he's just... I let it run out of fuel at this point before I pitted.
Yeah, just get out there and start pushing it.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'd hop out. Call in Tyler Justice, my teammate, to give me a little bump across the line.
But Jamie Horn going to be your second place finisher. Dylan Canova, assuming he can get it around.
Ready to talk to him about his pit strategy. Third
Going to
place.
be your official third place finisher. Fourth place going to be Tyler Justice. Frank Marchese in fifth. Greg McConey sixth. Brandon Trush seventh. Craig Bontrager eighth. Christopher McCullough ninth. And Simon Grills in 10th.
Brandon burning it down out here. I was trying to see if I can get Ryan a burnout here, but he could not see it. And that's going to do it for Sonoma out here.
That is going to do it. I just heard Ryan Moyer come over the radio and say, "I'm sweating."
I don't doubt it.
absolute domination from Ryan Moyer here tonight. What a run by him. Shasta Jewel in the chat saying, good racing broadcast. Have a great night, everyone. Shasta, hope you have a great night as well. Thank you for the compliment and good race. These guys, again, we were just talking about it. These guys ran a wonderful, wonderful run here at Sonoma. Minnie saying Moyer dominated Frankie fifth. Frank Marchese did bring home a fifth place finish, and he's got his teammate with Trash Panda Motorsports right behind him in the sixth position. Brian Gibbons saying Frank the Tank top 5. I know Shasta Jewel always out here rooting for the RER guys. Really, really a strong night for Rogue Energy Racing as well, with Dylan Canova in third and Tyler Justice in fourth. We also have Craig Bontrager back in 8th. George Jewell just outside the top 10 and 11th. But either way, huge night by Ryan Moyer and a great run by Jamie Horn as well.
Yeah, I mean, just great run by Moyer. Just kind of dominated from start to finish there. Jamie Horn did have something for him for a second. I thought the pit strategy was going to pay off. Ended up not working out the way he was looking for it to work out, but still, great run by Jamie, bringing it from the back to the front there. And just up 9 spots. So he's also going to be your biggest mover of the night. Third place still in Canova. Waiting to see if we can get some of these guys in the waiting room. While we're here, why don't you tell us about our sponsors that we got?
I can do that. First of all, again, huge shout out to our main and primary sponsor for the series, Sunbelt Rentals. Sunbelt Rentals is a construction equipment company that is all around the country. Whether your project be residential, commercial, industrial, no matter what it is, Sunbelt Rentals will make sure you stay taken care of. I myself have been in the construction industry for about the past 4 years, and anytime I've ever had to deal with Sunbelt Rentals, I've been treated with nothing but absolute professionalism and people who want to make sure that you stay taken care of and get the right piece of equipment for the job. So be sure next time you need a piece of equipment, head on over to your local Sunbelt Rentals, and I know that they will take care of you. And again, huge shout out to them for being the primary sponsor of the league and the series. Keeps these guys out on the track with something to race for, keeps us up here in the booth, and make sure that everybody can be out here having a good time. So thank you to Sunbelt Rentals. And then again, as always, myself and John make up Knapp Daddy Racing. Knapp Daddy Racing is this YouTube channel. It is also a website, as well as a lot of other things. We started as just an iRacing design shop and have now tried to make ourselves kind of your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. You got to see a couple of Knapp Daddy Racing designs out here on the track tonight. So hopefully you enjoyed those. But either way, when you need anything for your iRacing journey, whether it's new logo, new design, new template, whatever the case may be sure you head on over to knapdaddyracing.com and check it out. Be sure to also look at some of the free content we have up there. A lot of really cool templates and stuff you can pick up absolutely free, as well as some number templates that are very, very cheap, but still extremely high quality. All custom made, handmade, with care, with love by the Knapp Daddy Racing boys. And even if you're not into iRacing and you're just a fan of what we do here or anything like that, and you want to support, be sure you grab a t-shirt or a hat. We have those on the website. T-shirts really comfortable. Hats are super high quality. We would appreciate it very, very much.
Well, with that said, I do have our third place finisher right here coming up in the booth, Dylan Canova. Dylan, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yeah, I got.
Good run, Dylan, tonight. We were talking about strategy a lot up here tonight. We weren't really sure how the fuel strategy was going to work out for everything, but you seem to have it figured out. Can you tell us a little more about the fuel strategy? You put it on lap 27 last and ran it out to the very end.
Yeah, I figured there would be two options there when I realized how close we were. I don't necessarily know which one was faster. I think if you had the pace to run up with Jamie and Ryan, I think just going in the top off so you didn't have to save would be the move. But I figured we were between a third and fifth place car, and the best bet to just solidify that was to try and one stop it.
And how close was it, Dylan? You got Hunter up here in the booth. Really quick, I just had a quick question. So, how close was it on fuel at the end? Because I know we saw Ryan have to bring it down there at the end. Jamie stopped, I think, maybe 10 or 15 laps beforehand. How close were you at the very end there?
I want to say I could have completed one more lap, but it would have been on fumes going across the line. So I think I had saved enough to get one to the good, just in case I had to fend off the last lap challenge if the cars got up behind me not having to save.
Good night. Well, you definitely brought it a little bit close there. What was your kind of thoughts going into tonight? Do you normally really like road courses? Was this kind of a change of pace for you? Um, Running so well here at a road course, what was kind of your whole thought process going in here?
I don't mind road courses. I run some endurance stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of road courses in stock cars. But if I have to do them, the next gen is probably the one I'd want to be in because it is the closest to a purpose-built road course car. So they're not my favorite on a stock car, but normally I do all right. I'd say I'm not normally somebody who's going to go out there and win, but I can normally have about a fifth place car.
Well, you beat expectations then with a top three finish here tonight. We're going to Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. What's your opinion on Charlotte?
I love Charlotte. One of my favorite mile and a halves. Hopefully, work allows me to make it. That's the only downside. I don't get to race very often due to work, so hopefully I
Yeah.
get to make it. But no, I do enjoy Charlotte. I don't know if I've ever actually run there in the next gen cars, so it'll be a little bit of a learning experience in these cars. But no way, I do pretty well at Charlotte.
So, man, well, hopefully work lets you get away because I know we're looking forward to seeing you out there for it. But before we let you go, any sponsors, any shout outs you want to give before we let you get out of here? Floor is yours.
Yeah, everybody over on the Rogue Energy team, everybody at the league. Um, you guys for putting on the broadcast. I know a lot of people don't back their sponsors. I typically try to drink one every time I race because it's on the car and it tastes good. So you can get it over at Rogue Energy. Use code RER and save 10%. I think they have a free sample pack as well. So, um, but I enjoy it. Tastes good. So I recommend everybody at least give it a try.
Well, I'm an energy drink junkie myself, so I will use code RER and I will go get myself some. But we appreciate it, Dylan. Great run tonight. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you at Charlotte next week.
Yep. I look forward to being here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one. It's going to be Dylan Canova, your third place finisher for the night. Coming in second place tonight, I do have Jamie Horn in the booth. Pulling him up right now. Jamie, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back. I feel like we hear from you a lot in this league and other leagues as well, but road course tonight, a little bit different from the normal. I didn't know you were much of a road course guy, but you kind of came out here and showed up and showed out. Did you practice this course before coming in, or?
I run a couple of laps every weekend, not too many. I'm not much of a road course guy, but Sonoma kind of clicked with me a couple of seasons ago in the other league that I run in Xfinity. So for some reason I'm pretty decent at this track. Just need to learn how to qualify and not run off the track, so I have to start in the back.
Yeah, we noticed. I saw that you probably put down almost a lap, I think, for qualifying and then get a time. So I figured something like that happened. Big thing here tonight is consistency. Did you find it hard to be consistent? Did the car change on you as the run went on?
It wasn't really too bad. The hard part was it seemed like I would catch lap traffic at a point where I couldn't make a pass, so that was killing me. I would make a little ground up on Ryan and then catch some lap traffic, and we were kind of one lap he was running a faster lap than me. The next lap I'd run a faster lap than him. It'd been interesting if we'd have started up front together and seen how it played out, but coming from so far back, it was kind of hard to fully make up that deficit and get up to him.
For sure. We were looking at your pit laps too. I think you put it on lap 26 and then again on 32 to make it that was your second stop. Did you think that his pit stop was going to set him back more and that might help you out a little bit?
I was hoping that he was going to take tires and that was going to be a longer stop, and and I didn't take tires on that second stop, so I was trying to go ahead and get my stop out the way and kind of be out of lap traffic for a good bit and try to make some good lap times. And towards the end of it, I was over driving a little bit, and because I knew he was getting close and was going to have to pit soon, so I was trying to make up some of the gap that he had on me, but he did a good job being flawless and ended up with the win.
Yes, sir. Well, before I let you get out of here, you got any sponsors you like to thank?
I thank Sunbelt Rentals for sponsoring the league, Knapp Daddy Racing, and whoever else. I still don't know them all. If there is more, I apologize. I promise I'm going to learn them. Um, thanks for everything you guys do each week, putting on the broadcast. Enjoy going back and watching them. And shout out to my mom.
Oh yeah, always. I think your mom was one of our first viewers for our test run that we had and gave us some good feedback. So it helped us get where we are today, which still
Shout out
growing.
Mama Horn.
Yeah, shout out to her because that was a lot of good input that she gave us back there. So always got to be thankful for her. But yeah, good run tonight. I mean, up 9 spots. It would have been, like you said, it would have been interesting if you guys were a little bit closer together, but still just a fantastic run. We're looking forward to seeing you at Charlotte next week.
Yeah, I definitely needed a more solid night tonight than what ended up happening last week at Atlanta. I'd already used my fast repair when that incident happened, so that killed my night there. But be glad to get to Charlotte. I like that track. So never that I can remember, I've never run it in fixed setup league. So I'm gonna have to run some laps and try to see what the difference is between open setup and fixed at the track.
Oh yeah, Charlotte's definitely one of my favorites to go to. So, but yeah, again, congratulations, man, and we'll see you next week at Charlotte. And actually, me and Hunter will see you earlier before that on some of our other league races. So,
Yeah, you won't see me tomorrow. I'll be out of town. But I should be back just in time. My flight should land at 5 on Thursday, so I should be back just in time for that race. So hopefully that all works out. If not, you might not see me again until next week.
all right, looking forward to it, man. You have a good night.
Y'all too.
That was number 2 international man of mystery, Jamie Horn.
And then coming up last up here, I do have Ryan Moyer coming up. Ryan, you got us in the booth?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, great run tonight. I mean, you dominated the whole race from wire to wire. Had a great qualifying time. I think you were about 0.8 seconds above the next person, and then just went out there and led pretty much the whole thing. Is this a track that you have ran before, that you practice? You feel good about road courses?
No, and no. I never ran the track before. I'm terrible at them. I just got home from my kid's school, jumped on, had 10 minutes of practice,
Jeez.
and somehow won the race.
That's even more impressive, actually. I mean,
That's insane.
I could never.
Yeah, Jamie, if Jamie didn't mess up his qualifying, he probably would have beat me. He was definitely faster than me. I mean, he started dead last, and within 10 laps, he was in a second behind me. So, but luckily, I was able to get the fuel strategy, the tire strategy right, and not go off track once, and somehow pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were kind of like back and forth. We were looking at the gap, and it's like every time he would catch up, you would kind of pull away. Did you see him coming and you kind of stepped on it, or was it just a matter of hitting your spots when you needed to?
I think I was getting scared. The tires were wearing out, so I was going really slow. And then, all right, I'm gonna try and push it. And the next lap, I hit my best lap ever. So I'm like, all right, well, so they're not really wearing out. And then from there on, I kind of just cruised on.
Yeah, I've got to ask, coming up to the last, I believe, I think it was 5 to go, 4 to go, maybe, you were coming into the pit stall. We were watching for a while, seeing if you were going to pit and what lap that would be. Did you think that that might ruin your night for a win here when you pitted there?
Yeah, I saw him peel off, again to top off, and I thought maybe he was gonna save enough to beat me out there. But once I pit and I came out, I was 7 seconds ahead. I'm like, he must have had trouble. So from there on, I was kind of just cruising.
Yeah, I think both of you guys kind of had some trouble with some lap cars tonight. I saw sometimes where you would kind of pull it away and then get stuck behind a lap car for a second. It's kind of hard to pass here. Same thing would happen with Jamie back and forth. But going to Charlotte next week, what's your thoughts on Charlotte?
Should hopefully be a better broadcast. I hope today wasn't too boring for you guys. But yeah, Charlotte should be fun.
Oh yeah, man, I love Charlotte. We try to make the best of our broadcast here, but I mean, it's good for you when you're out there dominating, just pulling away. I think you had like 30 seconds on them at one point after the pit cycle came out, and then even after you pitted, you still had 7.5 seconds coming out there. So I mean, that's fantastic. Even for 10 minutes of practice, it's insane actually. But
hitting a points night bingo on that thing.
yeah. But before I let you
Yeah,
go,
that's always good.
yeah, any shout outs or sponsors you want to give?
Just my team, like always, Midpack Motorsports. That's all.
Well, yes, sir. I love it. We're excited to see you at Charlotte next week. You're our first dual winner, I should say, 2-time winner here for the league. Maybe you can make it 3 next week at Charlotte, but looking forward to seeing you there, man.
All right, yeah. It was a fun race. Looking forward to next week. Jamie's probably gonna stink up the show there, but we'll see how it goes.
It'll be interesting you two guys go at it there at Charlotte. I know he's pretty good at those tracks, those 1.5 miles like that too, and I've seen what you can do at 1.5 miles, so that's going to be a very fun one. Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks to watch at least, so I'm excited for it myself.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yes, sir. Well, have a great night. Congratulations to you, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks. You guys have a good one.
You too.
Have a good one.
That's going to be Ryan Moyer, your P1 finisher for tonight. Just dominating, taking it over. I mean, he mentioned, like, hopefully didn't have a morning broadcast, but it's because he was out by 30 seconds at one point, you know?
Yeah. 10 minutes?
10
Practice
minutes?
for 10 minutes?
I could never. Not even in my dreams, I could never do that. Even in my
Alright,
dreams,
cool.
I would quit. I'd be like, nah, we're not doing it tonight.
Glad to know he has more talent in his big toe than I have in like the rest of my body put together. That's unbelievable.
That
I
is
mean, that's an
unbelievable.
incredible accomplishment. And him being so humble about it too. Just
Yeah.
I just went wire to wire at Sonoma, played perfect, like flawless, fuel and tire strategy. But if Jamie had qualified better, he probably would have beat me. Like, okay.
What a guy. You got to love it.
Yeah, just absolute champion.
Yeah.
Huge run by him. I mean, I was pretty serious about the whole points night bingo thing. I mean, he's gonna take home most laps led. He took home all the stages, and then obviously picking up the win as well. Never really saw him in an incident. Don't know if he got a bump or something here, but very well may have 0 incident points as well, which would be bonus points. But again, pretty incredible. And I mean that genuinely, run by Ryan Moore tonight. And that's not taking anything away from the show that Jamie Horn put on. Did a great job here. Dylan Canova was wildly consistent and brought home that 3rd place. Teammate Tyler Justice right behind him. And good night for the Trash Panda Motorsports guys, 4th and 5th. Or 5th and 6th, excuse me. Frank Marchese and Greg McConey. So it was fun. I mean, a lot of times the road courses can be a little boring, but I don't feel like this one was.
No, not at all, man. It was a great race. A lot of action. Some nice little battles going on there throughout the race too. But just disappointing night for some guys. You know, like I feel like every week there's good drivers that just have bad luck that happen to them. One of those guys tonight, Brandon Trush, really good qualifying, got some damage earlier. I think he would have been a lot faster down the stretch, given that he had a little bit better of a car after taking all that damage the first lap. I know it's kind of a disappointing night for Cody Bullock as well, who won last week, but at least he did pick up those points last week to kind of get him ahead. I think he's going to be really good at Charlotte too if carries over what he's been doing for this season. Guys like Jacob Hutnick, not a great night for him as well. He was involved in that incident during that first lap. Finished P12 tonight, down 6 spots, but a good driver, and I know he can bounce back next week.
100%. But
Yeah.
either way,
Next week, we're going to Charlotte. It's going to be at 8:15 here at the same time, same place. I'm excited. I love Charlotte. I guess it's kind of my hometown track now. It used to be Rockingham before that closed down, and now it's reopened again. But I love Charlotte. Great track. Takes a little bit of skill, a lot of skill, a little bit of luck. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Charlotte also the only track that we've ever actually driven stock cars on, and scared us both half to death. So love Charlotte. It's going to be a good time. I think it's going to be super competitive. Definitely looking forward to it. Again, one more time, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for being the primary sponsor. We appreciate them so much for keeping us up here in the booth, keeping these guys out here on the track with something to race for. Again, if you haven't had a chance to yet, be sure you check out knappdaddyracing.com. Also check us out over on
There it is.
wow. Let's try that again. Be sure you check us out over on our TikTok, where we try to be as live as often as possible. And then be sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss a second of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series action or any of the other content that we have up here as well. We appreciate it. Thank you all so much for joining in. Again, great turnout tonight. We appreciate all the engagement. It means the world to us. It means the world to the drivers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I believe until next time at Charlotte Motor Speedway, my name's been Hunter.
And I've been John.
We'll catch you next time.
See you, everybody.
Later.